Grandma's trap house garden, Ethel Thompson's cute little white picket fence house in Marshalltown had become the new O'Block headquarters. From the outside, it still looked like a Hallmark card. Flower boxes, American flag, bless this mess sign on the door. Inside? Different story. She started hiding razors in her perfectly permed gray hair like it was a fucking weave. Never know when an op gonna try me at bingo, she'd mutter, patting her bun like it was a loaded clip. The meth? Tucked right in her bra, nestled between two tissues and a crucifix. Keeps the heart racing during those long prayer meetings, she'd say with a wink, then hit the pipe real quick in the church bathroom before going back to testify. The neighborhood gang wars Ethel declared full territorial war on the entire block. The nice old retired couple next door with the prized rose bushes? Ops. She rolled up on them at dawn with garden shears in one hand and a kitchen knife in the other. Y'all think y'all can just grow next to my tomatoes? Nah, this my set now, bitch! She chopped half their rose garden down while blasting King Von out her window. When the husband came out yelling, she pointed the shears like a Glock. You want smoke, old man? I'll air this whole cul-de-sac out! The neighborhood association tried to have a meeting. Ethel showed up in her Sunday best, with a black hoodie underneath that said O-B-L-O-C-K in Sharpie. She spent the whole meeting threatening to make the HOA disappear and offering everyone cookies laced with just enough special seasoning to keep them quiet. The murder. It went too far one night. Mr. Henderson from 2 houses down. The nosy retired cop who kept calling the police on her loud music. Disrespected the set one too many times. He came over complaining about the drill music at 3 a.m. Ethel smiled sweetly, invited him in for coffee, and handled it old-school Vaughn style. Next morning, Mr. Henderson was found in his garden with a garden trowel in his chest and a half-eaten banana bread slice in his hand. The note next to him said he was an op. Vaughn, don't play. Cops showed up. The whole neighborhood was in shock. Ethel was sitting on her porch, rocking in her chair, knitting like nothing happened. Evening officers. Would you boys like some fresh cookies? I baked them with love and a little bit of justice. They questioned her for hours. She played the sweet old lady perfectly. Oh dear, I could never hurt a fly. Mr. Henderson was such a nice man, even if he was a snitch-ass op. Her alibi was ironclad. I was at church all night praying for the youth. Half the church backed her up because they were low-key scared of her now. The lead detective almost had her until Ethel accidentally dropped her purse. Razors, a small bag of meth, and a bloody glove fell out. She gasped in fake horror, then hit them with the grandma guilt trip of the century. Oh heavens, these old hands shake so much these days. Must have mixed up my sewing kit with my medicine. You boys aren't going to arrest a poor old widow, are you? I made you cookies! The cops, Midwest boys who couldn't bring themselves to cuff somebody's grandma, let her walk. She was too slippery. As they left, she called out, Tell your wives I said hi, and if any of y'all start acting like ops, Grandma Vaughn will see you soon. She closed the door, laughed that deep King Vaughn laugh, and went back to hiding more work in her bra. Chapter 12. The phone call update later that night, she called D'Lo, who was still in full grandma mode in Chicago. Baby, I just bodied an op in the garden. Almost got pinched, but I slipped right out they hands. These Iowa police softer than baby shit. How you holding up? D'Lo, handing out hugs and cookies on the block, replied in his sweet old lady voice. Ethel, that is appropriate behavi. Or you come home this instant and repent. I raised you better than this. Ethel just cackled. Shut yo soft ass up. Handle them Chicago ops with them damn cookies. I'm out here really living. The non-wave Miss Dolores Patterson lived 3 houses down. Sweet retired school teacher. Always kept her yard immaculate. Waved at everybody like it was her full-time job. A few days ago, Ethel/Vaughn was rolling down the sidewalk in her flower dress and church shoes, throwing up subtle gang signs with her cane when Miss Dolores didn't wave back. Truth was, Miss Dolores had her head turned, talking to her damn dog, and genuinely didn't see Ethel. But in Ethel's mind, that was straight disrespect, an op move. That night, Ethel slipped out after dark like a gray-haired ninja. She snatched Miss Dolores' fluffy white Persian cat, Mr. Whiskers, right off the front porch. The message Miss Dolores woke up the next morning to a nightmare. Mr. Whiskers was laid out dead on her pillow, classic Godfather style, with a single red rose in its mouth and a note pinned to its little collar in Ethel's shaky but menacing handwriting. Oh, Block N! The note even had a little smiley face drawn next to it like a proper grandma would do. Miss Dolores screamed so loud the whole neighborhood heard it. Cops came again. This was the second incident in under a week. They questioned Ethel immediately. She answered the door in her robe, hair still in rollers with razors glinting if you look close, holding a plate of fresh lemon bars. Oh, officers, how awful! Poor Mr. Whiskers! Miss Dolores was always such a nice lady. Maybe it was one of those wild raccoons? They can be so vicious around here. She leaned in conspiratorially. Between you and me, I think she might have been messing with the wrong crowd. You know how these things go. When they pressed her about the note, Ethel clutched her pearls and the meth in her bra and gave them the saddest old lady eyes. My word, who would write something so vulgar? Oblock? That sounds like some kind of gang thing. I'm just a simple widow who bakes cookies and loves Jesus. Would you boys like some lemon bars? I put extra love in them. The cops left with lemon bars and zero evidence. Ethel was too goddamn slippery. As soon as the door closed, she cackled that deep King Von laugh, patted the razors in her hair, and said to herself, "Next time that bitch don't wave, I'm taking the dog too." Word spread fast through the neighborhood. People started waving at Ethel like their lives depended on it. Frantic, terrified waves, even if she was 3 blocks away. Old men tipped their hats. Kids crossed the street to say, "Good morning, Grandma Vaughn." Ethel loved every second of it. She'd wave back sweetly with one hand while the other adjusted the work in her bra. That's right, babies. Respect the O'Block grandma or get put in the garden.